And when it happened, then what happened? All those years of paying that amount of money, you walk away and then you have to start all over again. So wherever you are, in whatever stage of life that you are in, maybe today there's no other better day than this, and then there's no other better time than now. For those of you listening from abroad, if you haven't owned a property there, start working towards it. It may not be achieved within the number of years you're going to be there. Some of us may achieve it 10 or 20 years later from today. Some can achieve it 5 years from today. The length and the strength of your earning and how far it takes you, that's your call. It depends, but you need to write your plan now. Going back to my daughter, as we were speaking of today, when she went to England, and we were sharing that, she got married to a British Army, and even the husband was sharing with us, he lived and worked there for 13 years. And when she was going, we were telling her, don't just go and live life as it is. You're not working. You're going to go and find work, or when you're there and you're still doing God's work, don't wait until you find your work for you to do that. Write your list. You need to go look around, get a property. Don't just get carried away. They are given quarters. In the British Army, they are given quarters. Just like here in Fiji, you are given housing allowances, or you're getting your quarters. And sometimes kenda wele na tiko na quarters deduct na kende sao from source kenda wele nava ni na ndona na zava mai na tiko ikya, that you will stand up one day and say to yourself, okay, then where do I go? Where do I stay? You cannot walk away from the quarters at the end of your work phase and then go to pay rent again. No, you need to own something that you can call your own. You may be deprived or go without the money now, but the achievement level, the satisfaction, it makes you feel so good. So after getting that property, which the husband shared with us later, and then he said, 13 years, you remember what he posted. And he said, 13 years I came, I had good money. I earned, I traveled. I go to for training. When they go to Afghanistan or when they go to Iraq, British Army, when they do that, it's like an expatriate. They get an allowance. And then he said, all those allowances came to nothing. Like it didn't have anything to make a show of itself. And when I got married, and 2 years into our marriage, we managed to buy a property and buy a house. And they refinanced their car. And last year, they moved on to Germany. So when they are in Germany, they're renting out their home now in England. And I was telling my daughter, don't wait on that. When you pay off that house, or when you look at the strength of your earning, and I can pay this house, and you can invest in another property, invest in another property. Don't just stay with the fact, okay, we already have a home. And that goes back to us here in Fiji, or whichever country that you're in. Kaya tiko rawana vale iko kila na lawa tiko biko iko ronye invest tali kene mendota la vale sendo tali meka na tiki ningele but tiko reda na koko ani no murawa ka tiko lingamo waka biwatini or individual, then invest. You may be still single, but your earning power is so strong. Don't just wait until you get married and start planning. No, you can be still single and start planning. Invest in your land, invest in a property. You don't have a wife to look after, you don't have children to look after. Your money is still free. So once it's still free, invest in these things. You may go through half of the thing you already paid, or even some of the things already being paid for. Sasa yote, we can plan, can achievement level, can strength to have these things with you. And then don't wait a day later. Start now and start today. School children, write it down. Start now, start today. Your earning, your achievement. If you are, coming of age, you're 16. Plan. Okay, I can get a driving license. Don't wait for you to say, oh, we don't have a car. So I don't see any reason why I should have a driving license. No, with or without car, write your list. If you're a school student, write your list. In Fiji, if you're 16 and a half, you can go for your learner's permit. And 17, you can get your P driving license. So that's how early you can. And if you're already in school, and that is like year 11, year 12 age. And by year 13, and if you have a family car, you can drive yourself to school. And if you don't have a car, you already have your license. So it becomes your, like something you already have achieved. And I don't know whether you can remember, thinking back, like in the airline days, we have a lot of intake then. And a lot of things that I've noticed, because I was in the Human Resources Division, you see a lot of people, when they send in their application, the Indo-Fijians, you see them, they already sending the photocopy of their driving license and the photocopy of their passport.